guys, this is Daniel from Twincensiontarot. Welcome to my viewers and to this twin flame reading for the last week of July. So this is actually my first reading on camera, and I have to say some things. My native language is actually German, and I'm also using some tarot decks that are in German, and I may have to look up certain words or not always find the right words for what I want to say, but I think this will be okay. So let's just start with this reading. I have pulled 4 cards for the overall energy, and what we see is that it is actually a pretty spiritual energy, and also there seems to be an overall topic of communication. I have many air cards in this reading, so this to me speaks about that both sides are kind of approaching the spiritual communication from where they're at, from their points. And what I find interesting, when you look at this card, don't know if you can see it, it's like these 2 cards, it's like we have the feminine and the masculine both mirroring these energies of the spiritual communication. So, and when we look at the card, we have the masculine who is really opening up to these higher ways of communication, and when you look at the feminine card, you have also someone who is kind of surrendering to, just when you look at the expression of her face, she is opening up, and to me it looks like she is surrendering to the messages that are coming to her. So yeah, this could be in many ways. This could mean that messages are coming to divine masculine and feminine on a in the material world, that there are messengers maybe they've been waiting for, good news or something, but also of course that they are getting more in tune with those messages that are coming from the divine. So I arranged the cards just intuitively, and but it seems like it's a perfect arrangement, because I laid down these 2 cards in the mental space, and they really seem to be fitting. And I have this card from the Symbolon deck, which is placed in the heart space, and it's actually a very beautiful card for this reading. The Symbolon deck is kind of a bit special because it's actually combining two astrological signs and the energy of it. And so we get about 12 times 12 cards, yeah. And this is a pretty interesting approach for a tarot deck. And this actually is the card for marriage. So this is the energy that seems to be the topic in the heart space. And yeah, I think I don't even need to say so much about it. It speaks for itself. It's a pretty beautiful card. And the last card for the overall energy is, I got this from the Isis Oracle. And this card speaks about magic and ritual. I'm gonna read this. Effect in the external world can be created through inner practice. Heart-centered ritual can support you in a path in the physical world. You're encouraged to enhance your power with regular practice as you grow in grace, love, ability, and wisdom, applying your inner beauty to transform your outer world. So yeah, this also, of course, speaks about magic and spiritual abilities, I would say. And this card for me also shows to me, I'm getting from the overall reading that there seems to be this yearning or developing the ability to get your spiritual self to the outside world, or getting to know on how to do this. There seems to be a development that has maybe slowly taken place over the last month or maybe years even. And to me it feels like it is now slowly coming into fruition. There's something that is now more tangible or even more visible. Maybe it's even only for the person itself, that he or she is noticing these on himself, on themselves. But it could be also, of course, that other persons around are noticing a change. But maybe sometimes they don't even know themselves. It could be that these changes are picked up more intuitively. So yeah, it seems to me a pretty strong energy, very interesting, because to me it's a very powerful force when you see this transitioning from what is within you and you bring it to the outside world, because this is a pretty hard yeah. Okay, let's see what the I need to say the left side for me is for the divine feminine and right side is for divine masculine. But of course, as some of you know, it could mean you have to decide which energy applies to you, because divine feminine energy is not always the feminine in this 3D reality. Sometimes it's vice versa. And but yeah, this is divine feminine energy, and this is what is in their mental space. So we got again an air card. As I said, I have many air cards in this reading. So this seems to be much about communication and science. And I feel like the feminine is aware of this, and is also using it as a tool, of course, for herself, in a way that she is looking out for messengers to guide her to the right steps, or to just see what the time is now, or get a sense about timing, something like that. And what is also interesting is that in this reading I have many animals, or spirit animals, totems, spirit guides, and for me especially the Pegasus has always been a companion for soulmates and twin flames. So I feel like there is a deep trust, or a knowing that you can rely on your companions on a spiritual level, or even on an intellectual level. It's also like a bit as if the spiritual knowledge is kind of merging with the intellect. This is somehow what I'm picking up. This is a pretty interesting energy. Yeah. So I pulled this other card from the Symbolon deck, and yeah, as you see here, this is a person with a disability, and this card to me speaks about acknowledging or knowing that there is some kind of disability in the mental space, that we are not able to move further at the moment. Something is holding us back, and it might just be that we know, we got this sense of timing, and we know at the moment it is not the right time, because we might also have the knowledge, or feminine might have the knowledge that yeah, they see what masculines, where the masculines are at in the material world, and or there may have been things that happened that make it impossible for feminine to come any further towards divine masculine. This is what this card speaks about to me. And so yeah, this is kind of a clarifier to that energy I just described. This is from the Isis Oracle, and I will just show it to you and then read the card. And it says, proper burial for freedom. There's nothing to be gained and everything to be lost by trying to hold on to that which no longer serves us. Osiris, Lord of the Dead, guides you now to release that which no longer needs to be a part of your life so that you may be free. Okay, this to me, in regards of the last two cards, tells me that there, for the feminines, in the mental, there is a knowledge or a surrendering to what needs to be done at the moment. And that is just releasing what we cannot change. Yeah, and this way it gives us a freedom, and I think this is always the right thing to do. What gives us freedom in the mental space, even if it's not a simple step, but I feel feminines have been working towards this in a way. There has been some kind of development in this journey, on this path, and so it is easier now. This is what I'm getting. Okay, let's see what's on the mental space for the divine masculines. And the first card I have here, this is what I mean. You maybe can see this. There is pretty much this mirroring going on, because I have here the air cards. They're on both sides, the blue, and this goes further with the other cards. I'll come back to that later. So we have here the King of Air in the mental space for the masculine, and the King of Air is someone who is an intellectual person. So this actually pretty much would fit to the masculine energy, as far as we perceive it. But as I said already earlier, with the Pegasus card, I get this feeling that there is some kind of, I don't know really how to explain it maybe, but to me it feels like there is kind of a merging of the spiritual and the spiritual intuition and the logic intellect. There is some kind of, maybe that the masculines are saying or feeling they're at this place where they're using their intellect, they're thinking things through, and maybe came to some conclusions, but to me it feels like they're realizing I might not be getting through this only through my intellect, but still it is the dominant energy for them. That is what I'm getting. And the next card could even be a clarifier for this kind of energy, because this card is showing someone who is imprisoned, and I actually have to look in the book for this card again, for the description, because this card tells, I have to translate it into English, the problem consists of that on a deeper level you are a prisoner, and this creates a tension. So and this tension is growing, and there's a pressure building from this. So, and since we are in the mental space with this card, this actually describes for me the energy of the King of Air, who is a pretty intellectual person, a logical mind, trying to get at things from a rational point of view. But at the same time, there is this tension that maybe even is created from this point of view. There is some point where the masculines cannot get ahead from this point. And I'm also getting from this that there is a pressure building, and this pressure is also what is making them, or let's rather say, they know that they have to have to make some kind of move, but it's like they're still trying to figure it out. So maybe on the one hand they still try to how to say it, they're not really looking at this, they still refuse to look at this, but by this the pressure is building more and more, and this will eventually get to a point where this pressure will explode, and maybe this can lead to that this prison will fall into pieces. This is what I'm getting from this. So, and I also have for the mental space for the masculines scales of balance, and this is from the Isis Oracle, and I'm gonna read it. It says, balancing, give and take, directing and flowing, play and solitude are ways to heal the relationship between the inner masculine and feminine energies. Connecting with the body is the most powerful form of healing for the feminine energy, as it holds the secrets to divine feminine wisdom. So dance, sing, play. Okay, this card actually speaks about the balancing of masculine and feminine energies, and as I said, the rational way of thinking for the masculine is really the biggest part, and so there needs to be some kind of balancing that has to take place, or that it's maybe slowly in development, and these things may take some time. As we know, there's in twin flame relationships, certain things are a slow development, because we have learned things in this life, and we have learned them over years, and now we have to unlearn certain things, and this is a tough task. So this may take some time. Okay, let's see what Divine Feminine has in her heart space, and this is the next step where it shows this mirroring. I have I have pulled two cards from the Good Tarot, and you also see the mirroring here in the colors. And what I find interesting, for example, is I have here in the heart space for Divine Feminine the Love card, and you see on this card it is the number 6 actually. So it's the Lovers in traditional tarot, but it actually looks like number 8, the Strength, the woman with the Leo. And what I find interesting about this is that I have for the masculine heart space the Empress, and the Empress is always someone I would have linked to the Strength card, the number 8. So I always kind of thought like the Empress is the woman with the lion on the Strength card. So there is this certain connection here and this mirror, And again, we have a mirroring, because we have for divine masculine and feminine in the heart space both of these birds. And yeah, when I look at the cards, I again feel this deeply connectedness to the inner realms, so to speak. This is something I somehow get from many cards when I look at it, like the woman surrendering to the messages. And what we see here for me is that we have here the phoenix on the one side, and on the other side is what is looking like a dove, or for me it is more like maybe a thunderbird, I would say. And so these are actually pretty powerful totem spirits, and it's actually both sides again for me. Because the firebird for me would be a pretty masculine energy, and the thunderbird would be a pretty feminine energy, or maybe even the other way around, because fire could be connected to feminine energies and thunderbird to masculine, because thunder is electric and masculine energy is electric in nature, and feminine energy is magnetic. So this could be either way. But yeah, so we have in the heart space for the feminines, there is this love, of course, the Lover's card. That is what they're feeling in their heart. And when I look at this card, to me it feels like there is even a certain kind of trust for this journey. This is what the card says to me. There is a trusting for this path, because it's like now they are in resting, or maybe waiting, or getting a sense for timing, as I said earlier. But they're also focused on themselves with their feelings. But there is also, to me, it speaks about connection in dreams. This is what I get from this. And also a trusting, because they both are lying in front of these pillars. And what you can see behind is the path that is still foggy. But that is the path that they know they are going to take with their twin flame. This is the twin flame journey to me. And yeah, you could also say this maybe ultimately leads to the sun in the background. This could be the sun. And yeah, there is some kind of it's a mix of trust, dreaming, resting, concentrating, and getting a feeling for their inner intuitions. And what is also on the heart space is the transformation with this firebird. And so I think there is really a strong energy going on that is actually deriving from the trust and the faith they are developing in the heart. And it is rather, I'd say, detached from the outcome, because I think this is something we have learned along the way with having faith and trusting in this journey, that we just feel a strong force that is coming out of this. This is some kind of energy that is very strong and yeah, makes us feel good on a deeper level. And yeah, the connection between is the marriage, and this is the highest form of a commitment, the highest forms of two people coming together. So, and then we have these strong two birds, and both cards, both sides to me speak of very intuitive and very spiritual connectedness, even though you may not really see that on the outside. It may appear different, but this is what is being felt from both sides. And maybe it's even like that one side doesn't even consciously know how deep this feeling goes, but I'm getting that for the masculines it is that this knowing, the certainty about this is getting stronger, and there is a kind of surrender to this energy for the masculines. Yeah. So and for the masculine, the Empress, this speaks to me of a feeling of abundance. The masculine is somehow getting into this energy of abundance, and it's actually interesting that it is the Empress, because it's a feminine energy, and this could also speak about the things I said before, that this masculine energy of rationality and masculine thinking is in some ways balancing towards more feminine energies. This is what I'm getting from this. So let's see what is in the how they appear on the outside. And I want to clarify something. This part is not only how they appear to each other, but also how others may be viewing them, or maybe how they may be viewing themselves. So this could have different meanings. So we have here for the Divine Feminine, 8 of Air, and I actually have to pull this little booklet again. Have to look what it says, because the 8 of Air represents the 8 of Swords, and it is this card speaks about not seeing the truth. And I'm going to read the meaning of the card to you. It says, release from denial, seeing things as they are, clarity. With Spirit at my side encouraging me, I open my eyes to see things as they really are. To be disillusioned is to free myself from illusions that keep me from growth and healing I deserve. So I bid goodbye to illusions that have clouded my vision. Honesty gives me strength and courage to face whatever I have to face. Okay, this speaks to me about maybe feminines have been really deeply thinking about what has been going on in this journey for the past weeks or months or even years. And some things have happened. This is what I get. And this is maybe there were times when feminines have created a sort of illusion, or were reluctant to see some negative aspects of their masculines, or to maybe how they have treated them. And I'm getting that this is what they are now releasing. Yeah, and starting to stand for themselves. How to say it? Taking their ground. I think this is the right wording. They stand for themselves, and I guess it seems like this is what they are appearing on the outside as well. This is what they are radiating. It's an image, a new kind of image, I would say, that is more, yeah, that also tells about self-love. And being authentic to themselves, and yeah, maybe not being so mild towards what has happened. I'm not having the right words on my mind. Maybe I get back to this later. So another card for how they appear for the feminines is I pulled from this Dragon Oracle. It's also in German, and this card speaks about Heimat, which means home, basically. And yeah, I think what I'm getting from this is they are growing towards what feels home to them, and this is what has been seen. And but maybe also in a way they are saying to the divine masculines that there is a home. There is a home for me, and there is a home for you, and there could be a home for you and me, for both of us. So this is what I'm getting. I'm getting that they are creating or visualizing a home, and that this is that could be something in the heart space, but that is something that is slowly being seen by others as well, that people from the outside are seeing this person is going towards his home, where he or she feels at home. This is what I'm getting from this, and these two cards may be clarifying this in a way. It's also in German, and these two cards speak about, this card says, be authentic, being authentic yourself. And it says, say with honesty who you are and what you feel. So I'm showing this card to you, so there may be some messages for some of you. There's also again this spirit animal, the swan, which is also of course the sign for lifelong marriage. And yeah, we have the other card, which says honesty is what is this word again? Honesty is I don't know the word. Honesty is necessary, I will just say now. And it says here, when we want to be a tender human, we have to be truthful and tenderly speaking. This is what the card says. And you see in the card the masculine is offering a flower, and what I'm getting from this is this offer could be either way, from the divine feminine or divine masculine. Take it as it resonates. I'm seeing there is some kind of offering, but it is more maybe in a mysterious way, maybe more in the spiritual realm, and not so obvious in the 3D world. But what I'm getting from this is that it is actually, for the other person, it seems to be very appealing to think about that there is this offer, which can maybe only be perceived through the spiritual realm or through telepathic communication, and to not be really knowing, and to have to rely on your senses and your intuition. But what I'm getting from this is that either the masculines who are offered this or the feminines are actually seeing this as a gift, or maybe actually hoping that they are seeing this the right way, that they're not seeing illusions, that there is this kind of offer, or maybe that they could make it possible, that that they still could make it possible, that they could make it happen. This is what I'm getting from this. And the mask for me represents to me the hidden word, the spiritual word. So this offer speaks to me about it is not, maybe not being seen in the material world, but only maybe in this hidden word, in a spiritual kind of way. And you see the person cannot really look at it at the moment, it seems, but it is really, they have some kind of joy deeply within to see this rose, to see this offer. This is what I'm getting from this. So let's see what we have, how they appear for the masculines. And we have the card Temptation. So what I'm getting from this is, I have to maybe show this card as well. This is from the Dragon Oracle, and it's in German. It means it's a cup of earth, actually, but not in the traditional tarot meaning, maybe. But to me it speaks about materialistic things, materialistic pleasures, materialistic wealth, and abundance. So this is really you can see for the masculines there is some kind of materialistic there is some abundance. They are that is seen on the outside, and they seem to be kind of really diving into this at the moment, and getting into a kind of good energy through this. But with the card of Temptation, you also see here this abundance with the golden coins, and with the card Temptation, it also speaks of excess, that you could be taking things too far. So this materialistic energy is something we all know that can be taken too far, that can drag us into the wrong direction. And it may appear to many people on the outside that there is a great abundance that this person has. But what I'm getting from this is that it can also be a shield for them to, it may be a kind of distraction to not be, to not have to look at the other problems that I have. These imbalances that they need to balance actually. So this is kind of a, how to say, this is actually a kind of a mask as well for them. This is what I'm getting, and actually you see on the picture this person actually is wearing a mask, and but what I'm getting is that this actually gives them some comfort for now, and this comfort is something that is giving them time to rest. This is a comfort zone for them, and it's also in a way giving them time to rest and think about, or let's say to gain some energy to make some certain moves that they are having on their minds. This is what I'm getting. So, but I'm not saying that this is all a negative thing. It is more like there are some negative aspects to this and some positive as well. So in the end it's all about balancing. But this is the energy they are projecting. And this card as a clarifier says switch on the light within your heart. And here on the bottom it says you can now in this moment think about this time where you have experienced love. So there are also many spirit animals as well, and this card to me says it's like the masculine is saying to feminine in a way, it's time to switch on the lights in our hearts, and I think this is how they are seen. I think people are recognizing there's a certain shift within them, not only this wealth and abundance, but as well an inner light they are radiating. They're in a powerful, delightful energy is what I'm getting. And this gives them some strength. And this is also, I'm getting a way for them to communicate to the feminines, like they are saying, this is a way that we can connect. It's like they are knowing that they have to get into this higher energies to be able to connect, because this is something that is somehow a basic for the twin flame journey, I would say, because we came here to connect in our highest energies and help ourselves in both ways to get into these higher energies. But sometimes this is a hurtful process, a difficult process. It's not always that easy. Yeah, and this is, I think I already said or read this card to you, I don't know. I will just read it again. This is the overall energy, and this is connecting between both of them. It is like a, yeah, it's like a finishing card that combines the whole reading all together. And it says magic and ritual. Effect in the external world can be created through inner practice. Heart-centered ritual can support your inner path in the physical world. You are encouraged to enhance your power with regular practice as you grow in grace, love, ability and wisdom, applying your inner beauty to transform your outer world. Yeah, I read this card. So yeah, but this is the conclusion of the reading, so to speak. That with all of this, we are really transforming and finding a way, a magical way, to bring that what is within into the outside world. So and in this way we are making a gift to the world as well, not only to ourselves or to our counterpart, but we are developing a way to share our gift that we have. Something with that we can uplift other people and help other people on their path. So this is actually a pretty positive message. So yeah, I think I can leave it like that. I hope you enjoyed the reading and got some messages from it for you. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.